The Arthurian legends are a wonder of the past and present. They buoy our spirits, unchaining us from many of the restrictions of modern life. The legends call to us across the centuries, a call we cannot ignore. We can know Lancelot and love him for his sins as well as his valor, as if he were our own companion. How we cherish the legends. Never perhaps will we know them with complete understanding. Many writers have tried using pens of many metals. I am faithful only to my own dreams of what happened so long ago. The Arthurian tales handed down through generations have been embellished and embroidered so much that we can never be sure of the truth. And we don't really need to, since the legends now sustain themselves. Even more liberty is granted to the writer of a sequel. The author need only back up against the past as he holds the future at arm's length in his pen. Though many of the adventures and descriptions of my novel are new and original, some are not so new and unexpected. This happens when one must draw upon the legends of the past for continuity. But like the spring, legends belong to everyone. Yes, I too wept when the dream ended, but there are other dreams, other voices to be heard now. We now have the liberty to extend the legends for every whim. Yes, we, the readers and writers of the continuing legend, have the grandest of all quests now laid out before us. But the quest can sustain us and nourish us like food from the Grail. Even those of us who seemingly exist in perfect harmony with the local universe, who might otherwise lie down and die, astounded with too much knowledge, were it not for the adventure of a quest. Yes, the quest's the thing, the thrill of the quest. Keep the flame alive. Our story. Camelot, once a city of marvel, now stands tarnished. The lands are dry with drought. Mordred has taken the throne. Must any more time pass without relief? Are Arthur and his knights up to the job? The battle on Salisbury Plain draws toward its conclusion as Arthur's small but brilliant army of knights overcome 100-fold of Saxons. Arthur has slain 100 men with Excalibur. Prince Valor has done in 75 with the swinging sword. Lancelot has reappeared from monastery life and using ordinary metal has ended the lives of 60 men. Percival, Ern, and Gelaine each bring a close to the careers of 50 Saxons. Lesser knights also do their chores well, but the price of victory is dear, and only Arthur, Perceval, and the immortal enemy Mordred remain alive on the field as we join the action. Mordred raises his lance, and Perceval prepares to move against him. "No, Perceval," cautions King Arthur. "His armor cannot be pierced by metal which has been forged on the earth. It is my destiny to meet him." "And die?" questions Perceval.
"And die," answers the king. "It has been revealed to me in a dream from Merlin. My life belongs to the future, to legend." Mordred is confident in his golden armor as he puts his lance through Arthur, wounding him. Yet Arthur raises Excalibur and sends it through Mordred's invincible armor as if it were butter. forget, Mordred, that Excalibur was not forged upon the earth, and that only I may wield it, for the good of man, that I may stop you only by giving my life too. Mordred dies, and Arthur lies gravely injured, but alive. Arthur bids Perceval to his side. Now you are the last knight, Perceval. You must see to the kingdom, see that its treasures, including my crown, remain hidden, and see to Guinevere and make her comfortable, and carry on alone, but with courage. The hell with that, Arthur, my king. I will join you in death. There is no place for me in the world now. A knight without companions is a man who ceases to exist, for there is then no reason to live. Perceval, do you remember what I said when you delivered the Grail to me? When I drank from it and it turned crimson and brought spirit back? You said, one never knows how empty is the soul until it is filled. And do you remember, Perceval, how you found the Grail? Yes, I do. At every crossing and fork I took the most impossible path. Then you must do so now, Perceval, for your path is most impossible and your heart is empty, and as such you know not what you say when you court death to join me. I have long suspected my destiny, that my life was not my own. Now finally I travel to that place where my life can be my own. As for you, your life is here. There are still some battles to be won. Indeed, you will have your magic too. I do not have long now. Arthur continues, take Excalibur and return it to the gods. Find a pool, one that is clear, calm, and deep, and throw the sword into it. Perceval leaves, but returns without throwing the sword in the lake. What did you see, Perceval, when you threw the sword in? I saw nothing, my king, but the wind on the water. I could not throw it in. Excalibur cannot be lost. Do as I command, Perceval. The sword belongs to the gods. One day a king will return in the earth's darkest hour, and the sword will rise again. When you come back, I will tell you a secret. Go now, I'm fading fast. Perceval takes one last look at the sword from the stone and throws it to the Lady of the Lake. Her arm is clothed in white samite, and the sword is soon taken under the water. Perceval returns and sees Arthur being borne away to the Isle of the Blessed on the ship of the Three Graces. Arthur, he cries, but Arthur rides into the crimson sun and takes the secret with him.
The last knight has some physical wounds. A broken leg and severely bruised ribs with some bleeding. Perceval takes the grisly inventory of the knightly dead as he heads off the battlefield to find a healing ground. There is no sign of Prince Vala's sons, Ern and Gillan, he notes as he retrieves the swinging sword from Prince Vala's lifeless body. Next to Vala lies Lancelot, dead. Their real conquerors were old age, thought Perceval. Both lived fine lives and neither one was cheated of life's good years. As for Prince Vala's sons, they may have been consumed by the lake. Peasants soon swarmed over Lancelot's body and carried it on a long pilgrimage to where he would be buried next to Galahad, his son. Perceval retrieves his spent shafts from the enemy bodies. Suddenly the battlefield seems a strange place to be, and the last knight takes to the loneliest road of all. 3 late arriving Saxons block his path ahead. He turns to avoid them, but they follow him like vultures. Perceval draws his feathered shafts against the bow, and the sting falls true to its mark. A deadly dart fells the second one. The power of the swinging sword remains, and it cracks the chest of the third, for the Saxon's sword is as dull as his wits.
Three Vikings block his path. He turns to avoid them, but they follow him like vultures. Percival draws his feathered shafts against the bow, and the sting falls true to its mark. A deadly dart fells the second one. The power of the swinging sword remains, and it cracks the chest of the foe. The Viking sword is as dull as his wits.
Perceval takes one last look back, then rides forward and proclaims to all, "The king is dead, King Arthur is dead."